I'm live. Hey y'all. Let's get started.
7:59.
Where is your mix? Hey can y'all hear me? I'm trying to make sure y'all can hear me. Okay. Good, 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 good. We'll be getting started in a few moments. This is Getting Candid with Cashe Ariel. This is my first episode and I'm excited. So we will be getting started shortly. I'm excited about it. Thanks for tuning in. Hey everyone. Oh, thanks, Mom. I appreciate it. So just a few moments. I'm waiting for Shanice to get on. Um, she should be on momentarily. How y'all doing? Y'all can talk to me in the meantime. How was y'all day? Thanks, babe. I'm not doing anything right now. We're just waiting on our special guest. So grab you some wine, grab you pen and paper, notepad, something to write with. I'm sure that you all will learn something from this episode. We're talking about poly relationships today. Um, thank you, my media sis. Give me one moment, y'all. There go my girl. Hey, girl.
Hello, hello. Can you hear me good?
Yes. Can you
Okay.
hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes, yes.
Good, 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 good. Yes. So, I was just letting everyone know that we were about to get started. We were just waiting on our special guest, and you're here. So I'm so excited.
Thank you for having me.
No problem. You're actually my first guest, so thank you. I
Ooh.
appreciate it. So I'm excited about tonight because we're gonna get into some things,
Let's
and
talk.
we're definitely going to learn. This is a judgment-free zone. This is a place for us to be ourselves, to just be authentic, and so I'm excited. So without further ado, it's your girl Cashe Ariel, and you're live on Getting Candid with Cashe Ariel, and we have the lovely
Shanice Hill.
and I'm so excited to have you. So we're going to get started. The first thing I want to do is a lot of times I look at authors as artists. And I say that because you guys are very particular with your words. A lot of rappers a lot of singers, they don't know that they are authors. They tell a story, they paint a picture. And a lot of times in their music, they talk about their childhood, their journey, and what influenced them to even start their career. So I just want to have you just give a brief background of who Shanice was as a young girl. Like, what was it like? What was your household dynamic like? Did you have both parents? Things of that nature. So if you want to go ahead and just give a little light about where you grew up and things like that, we can go ahead.
All right. So I am born and raised, bred and fed in Cleveland, Ohio. Okay.
Yes.
So I'm from the city, from St. Clair to Superior to Huff, Kinsman, down the way. Like, I'm from the city, people. Okay.
Yes. To one city, girl.
Definitely. But I now live in Atlanta with my family doing our endeavors. But young Shanice, like I said, from Cleveland, Ohio. I came up, I'm 33 years old. So coming up, I came up in the crack era. Let's be real.
Okay.
So that era did not miss my family. Until I was about 5 or 6, my parents were caught up into that lifestyle. I ended up in foster care. You know, just really going through those things as a young child. And, you know, that was earlier in life, but I remember so many things. And, you know, part of that journey going into foster care and that whole, you know, situation of the police coming to my home and, you know, gathering up me and my siblings, interacting with the police, that kind of set my foundation for wanting to do something that helped people. So that's kind of what's been a guiding force in my life, to do something that helps others. So yeah, I growing up in Cleveland, Ohio, you know, I went to East High, graduated East High, you know, it's now shut down. It's the administrative building now.
Okay.
but yeah, I graduated from East High, and just really just got my rooting there, being at home and just seeing where I came from. I always wanted more, and it was never in a way of looking down on the people and the places that I came from, but I always knew it had to be more. It had to be better. You know, I had certain young women around me, my age, maybe a little bit older sometimes, that would talk about life, and, you know, and I would see how they would live, and, you know, to see the baby mama, baby daddy drama, like not really living to your potential, not doing nothing more. And it's not to look down on any of these things, but, you know, just having, you know, just those regular jobs, you know, at the hospitals, and, you know, like I didn't want to take that path. I always knew it was something more for me. So in my education, like I said, I always wanted to do something to help people. I went through a criminal justice degree, didn't even use it.
Okay.
But I actually ended up working in the Boys and Girls Clubs of Cleveland. Shout out to my babies in King Kennedy and my babies over there at Franklin D. Roosevelt School. They all big kids now. They like going high school and stuff. But I ended up working in the Boys and Girls Clubs of Cleveland, and I enjoyed that work so deeply. Like, it really let me know, like, I got to do something to help my people, to help my babies, because every little kid that I saw me in them. So I always wanted to be an example to them in the way that I walk, in the way that I talk, in the way that I move, because I know I got ones that's sitting next to me that I know are watching me, but it's also other ones who are watching me that I don't know. So I need to make sure I'm on my 10 at all times, because I don't know who's watching me. So, you know, that's my basis of my story. And, you know, being in Cleveland, I moved 3 years ago to Atlanta with my family, my husband, my co-wife, and my child, and we started a vegan restaurant here. And I just recently wrote my first book called Playbook to Be Another Woman.
Yes, I'm so proud of you. And I love your story. I love that, you know, you're being very transparent with your upbringing. I know so many individuals that are close to me that went through foster care and went through the system. And you know, it's sometimes challenging, and some people take those challenges and they birth new things. You know, they take those struggles and those pains and they birth a purpose. And, you know, there are some people who are not so lucky that, you know, those struggles create monsters. And so I'm glad that you took your pain and your struggles and you put purpose behind it. So I'm definitely excited for you. I'm glad that we're both from Cleveland, Ohio, and we made it here to the Big Peach, and we're
Yes.
doing amazing things, and I'm proud of you for that. So just to talk about your passion for writing, because I know when I was reading up on you, you were saying that your teachers, they always knew that you would be an amazing writer, but you just recently, in recent years, decided to actually take on the talent that you have and the gift that you have. Why was that? Did you not see that in yourself?
I didn't. It was just not something that I saw. My teachers always told me, you need to be a teacher. I'm like, I don't want to be a teacher. I don't want to be in school for the rest of my life. One.
Right.
And two, teaching what? Like, I don't want to teach math or science or anything.
Mm-hmm.
But what I've come to learn in my journey and telling my story and, just giving the things that I've learned throughout life, I am a teacher. So they saw that in me before I did. And being a writer, that's just an extension of that. I was, in writing the book, I'm writing about my life and my experiences, but all together, like I've always written. I've written music and poetry and stories and things like that. And not realizing, well, at this point, realizing that this is something I can use to help me, because I also deal with anxiety. Like, after COVID, like everybody got into their mental health and realized, oh snap, I've been dealing with anxiety. So this is one of my outlets, because a part of the anxiety is the ruminating. You think and you go into your deep thoughts and you just think of the shoulda, coulda, wouldas, maybes. If I would have did, you go into those thoughts so deep. So I said, you know what? Let me take this and channel it into writing. So, I wrote the Playbook to be the other woman, but I'm also, writing stories, about life and, different tales of people, and taking that, ruminating that can go against me. And I'm gonna use that to write stories, since I can think so deep and think of all these different scenarios and things that ain't even happen. I'm gonna channel that into some writing. So it's a healing place for me, where I can think and just get things off of my chest, and just take it from inside my head and put it on some paper and put it to good use. So I'm grateful that they saw those things in me. I'm so grateful, because when I think back now, it's like, dang, you saw me before I saw myself, and I can appreciate that.
Yes, and and that statement alone, people see things in you before you see them. And so I appreciate those who see who we are in our journeys before we even see it. You be like, you see that in me, and I appreciate that, and I love that. And so with that, I just wanted to ask you, what made you start Pacemakers? Because I know that a lot of people know you now as the author, but you were once and still is a publisher. So what was the story behind Pacemakers?
Doing Pacemakers, that was, again, one of them projects that came from pain. That's something I'm like, you got to turn your pain into something, or it's going to turn you into something. Mm-hmm. So I was in a rough space in life, and I had to channel that energy into something. And I was in a very deep spiritual place with myself. So I'm reading my Bible, I'm studying, I'm doing my thing, but I'm still going through things within myself. So I decided to take the understanding that I had and create Pacemakers, which was a spiritually based magazine. Well, is a spiritually based magazine, where, I promote modest dress for women. We talk about, we have those spiritual conversations in there. Mm-hmm. So getting different women to tell their stories of where they came from, what they went through, how they use God and their spiritual foundation to get through those things. So I just wanted to create like a really just wholesome place, because we see, all these magazines out here that promote, everything under the sun, except for modesty and spirituality. So it was really just my love project for my spirit. And, I did three issues of it. I might bring it back. I don't know.
And that was my next question. I was going to ask you, were you going to bring it back? Because I think you should. I really think you should bring it back.
I might, it's when the inspiration hit me.
Okay.
Because I just like to go with the flow of what come into my spirit to do. So when it hit me and that topic come, I'm gonna put it out there, but it's always there. That's mine. That's my baby. So I don't want to stick myself to a schedule of, oh, I need to do this at this time. No, let me let the spirit flow and tell me when it's time.
Yes, yes, yes. I was like, let me ask her if she's gonna bring it back, because the funny thing about it is we have a mutual friend. And so I believe I either followed you from Renisha, or it was something of that nature. But
I
at
probably
that
followed
time,
you from her page. I
and
don't know.
it was either or. But
Hey,
this was like a couple years ago. And so I think at this time, was I baking at the time? I think I had just started my boutique. But I reached out because I was trying to get my story, like we talking now, out to different outlets. And I didn't know how to do it. I was doing it on my own. I didn't have a publicist. I didn't have anyone to show me how to get my information out there. I was doing everything on my own. Mm-hmm. And so I reached out, and I believe someone told me like it was like a pause on it right now. It was no current issue. And it may have been you. I don't know. But when I reached out,
I am the only person behind it. I might say we in the email, but the we is me, honey. Me and God.
Yes. Yes, so I was like, well, dang, I wanted to get on her platform because it was popping, and I love the message behind it. Because when I think of pacemakers, I'm thinking about the medical part of it. So initially, I'm thinking like, okay, maybe this is a medical magazine. But then when I actually start looking into different outlets that I can use, and I start researching, I'm like, okay, so this is Black Women Ran, and they are showcasing Black women in a positive light. I want to be a part of this, and I want to share my story. So please, whenever you bring it back,
I will let you know. I will let you know. Because yeah, like it's pacemakers, like, because you know the pacemaker helps to steady your heartbeat and to, you know, to give your heart a good rhythm. So yes. I'm like, okay, I need to do something that's setting the rhythm of our women, of our nation, you know, and also being a pacemaker, like you set, like that was the things. You set the pace. We're going to let them know this is the rhythm. This is how we move. And we moving in spirituality. We moving in righteousness. We moving in goodness. We're moving in good values for ourselves, for our children, for our family. So it's all about setting the pace. So I might have to bring it back just because you started talking about it.
Please bring it back, because I want people to see it and read and just be a part of it, you know, especially down here. It's so many people that would love to connect and collaborate with you on your platform. So yes, definitely. So we're gonna dive in because we know why we're here.
Yes, we got to talk that spicy talk.
So we got to get into some things, and so we're gonna start and shift over to relationships. Because a lot of people, you know, look down on poly relationships. They feel like, I can't do it. Sis, you stupid. No, he just trying to, you know, they have so many things to say about it. And, you know, me personally, I'm not in a poly relationship, but I believe that people should do what makes them happy, and what works for them. You know, it's always so many silly little posts on social media. Who gets the plate first? Who pays this? Who pays that? And it's like, do what works for your household, you know? So we're going to talk about relationships. And my first question in regards to relationships is, were you always into poly relationships?
No, I was not. Okay. I was raised up in monogamy. I mean, hard monogamy on, if you even think he cheating, go find you a new one. Okay.
Yes.
But like I said, coming up where I came from, I always knew that there was more. I always knew there was better. So I stayed in the library. Like I hung out in the library. So I was always searching and studying, trying to find and learn something more. So always being a student of life. At about 20 something years old, I came across the TV show Sister Wives. Mm-hmm. This guy, he had like maybe 2-3 wives at the time, getting another one. And it caught my attention just to see the family structure. They were thriving financially, going through just regular ups and downs that marriages go through. He just had to do it with multiple women. Children are happy. You got multiple people helping, multiple women working together, helping with children from each side of the family. So I'm like, this looks like a whole benefit, but nobody has ever talked to me about this. Like we see it as far as, you know, oh, people only in Africa do this kind of stuff. No, people around the world do this, but it's only in America where monogamy is only pushed, where it's a crime. It's called bigamy to be married to more than one person. Like, how is it a crime to choose how you structure your family? So, you know, just being a student of life and watching that TV show, I became exposed to, oh, they don't just do this in Africa. People can do this anywhere. So from there, it was just, you know, having that understanding that there's another option, but I still had nobody who sat me the same way that those women sat me down and told me, leave that man as soon as he is a problem, and taught me how to cuss, fuss, and cause havoc. They taught me those things. I didn't have anybody to teach me, okay, well, this is polygyny and this is how it works. So it was kind of just being in the back of my head and just paying attention to the world. So this is new to me coming into the relationship.
Understood. So, because I'm thinking as I was reading, I was wondering, like, okay, well, was it a situation or an event that caused your curiosity, or was it just like, okay, I just want to give this a try? Because I don't know, like, you know what I'm saying? Because for you saying, like, that wasn't my thing, but I read and I looked. So was it solely the show, or was it relationship issues?
Well, let's be real. The ladies on here, let's be real. We have dealt with a man, many of us, or know somebody who has dealt with a man who was dealing with somebody else. And because we liked him just enough, we said, I'm going to ride this out. I'm gonna still kick it with him because you liked him that much. So I saw these examples. I participated in such. So the actual actions of being in a polygynous relationship was not new. I had done that before, and I wrote about that in the book. You know, somebody who I was dating and really cared about, you know, I'm thinking it's just me. Then I found out, oh no, baby girl, it is not just you. It's you, her, and her. And I'm like, well, you know what? Me and his agreement is when we together, we together. So that's what it's gonna be. As long as I get my time and my attention and what I need from the relationship, and you safeguarding everything, and you know, sexually with everybody, do your thing, live your life. Because I got other things to worry about than to chase you around with your women. As long as I'm getting what I need from you. So you know, I've done that, and plenty of women know their mother, grandmother, auntie, cousin, sister. Women have done that, and you know, we'll do it on the sneaky side, on the sneaky link type side, but not on the upfront of, hey sis, I'm here, you here, we working together. We can't woman up and put our big girl panties on for that type of stuff. Yeah. So yeah.
And I've been there, like, you know what I'm saying, like you said, where you like someone enough, you'll put up with whatever, like, you know what I'm saying, you'll put up with knowing that there's someone else, you know. And I went through that years back, but you know, it's like you end up growing. And I know a lot of times men say, you know, women, they can't handle the truth. If you tell them what's really going on, they're not going to handle it. I myself am someone who, I like to know the truth. I like to know what's going on. Don't leave me blindsided. I'd rather know from you as the person that I'm sleeping with or the person that I'm dating than to find out from someone who I don't know and they're coming from a hurt place. So everything seems like an attack when they're coming at me.
Yes.
So, you know, in that type of situation, when you've dealt with something like that, how did you handle it?
Girl, I did what I was taught. Act a damn fool. I did what I was taught. But, and mind you, this is somebody who I was in a relationship. I was also friends with many years before, you know, the brief relationship with them. He just kept it real with me and talked to me the way that we know how to talk to each other. Like, look, I fuck with you because of who you are, and I fuck with her because of who she is. You ain't lacking nothing. She ain't lacking nothing. Y'all different. I fuck with you because you are you, Shanice. That's it. That's all. And I couldn't do nothing to respect it. I literally sat back in my seat like, well, you trying to go out tonight and kick it? Like, I was immediately checking, like, right, okay, well, I get it, because I am me. I am me.
Yeah, like, I mean, the total package.
What can you say after that? Like, what is there to say? Like, I couldn't even be mad. Like, you're right. I am me, and she is her, and she can't be me, and I can't be her. So, long as it's respect, and it ain't no drama, because I'm too cute and classy to be out here fighting and arguing over a man. because, you know, it's plenty of them out here. But if I want you, I'm not about to be out here fighting and fussing about it. So long as it's peace, I can rock with it.
So, in your current relationship now, because you've taken it to a whole nother level. So you're not just, I know about her, she know about me, we be together, me and him be together sometimes, and he be with her sometimes. Like you all actually have created a family.
Yes.
And I feel like you guys are like, should go in the history book, because like
we
you
might,
guys are like the first Black family that I've heard of that actually, there's a husband and there's 2 wives. And so with that, how did that come about? Were you already in the know of your husband's lifestyle, or was that something you guys thought about together?
So when I met my husband, he had already been married to my co-wife, Annie, for 14 years. Okay. So there's an age difference between me and him, a 20-year age difference. So that, you know, work the math out, y'all.
Gotcha.
They was married for 14 years before I came into the picture. And he told me about her from the jump. And honestly, it was, when I met him, it wasn't a thing of, you know, a thing of interest off top. We met at a spiritual, you know, gathering where we were learning about the Bible, and like, it was very spiritual and organic. And we, you know, ended up sitting down with each other and talking and, you know, just really connecting. Like, it was really genuine in that way. But after we began talking, you know, on a spiritual level, just, and really getting to know one another, a friendship and a likeness built. So I knew about her from the very beginning, and she's always known of his polygynous desires. He, you know, he's never hid from her that he wants multiple women in his life. They've gone down that path of trying to bring somebody in and things not working and all that. So, you know, she did, you know, she wasn't surprised or anything about me coming into the picture. He's very open and honest and transparent about what he wants, and being very upfront and saying, hey, this is what I want. This is what I want to do. Either you want to participate and be here, or if you don't, you can gladly leave. So, you know, he was very upfront from the beginning. So me coming in, you know, yeah, I knew about her from the beginning. And when he laid it out, like, this is the life that he wants and what he desires out of life and what it is that, you know, that I can bring, because I had, it was a very spiritual thing, like I said. So in our first conversation, the Most High put it into me of what I would be in his life and what I would bring to him. And along with the things that he wanted out of life, it worked. And it just naturally gelled together and worked, because first and foremost, we are spiritually connected. It's not about sex and lust like people want to think. Like, we're truly spiritually connected to the point where it's hard to really explain.
Okay. So I know you said that he laid it out to her and you knew of her. Was there a thing of you guys having to go to like another country to get it legalized, or how did that end up working out when you guys decided, like, okay, we are going to get married, and I'm going to join into this union? Was that something that was able to be done here in the States, or that's something that had to be done somewhere else?
So we are actually not on paper legally married. He is not legally married to either one of us. They were legally married at one point, but when he presented his polygynous desires to her, she was like, oh, hell no, I'm out, and literally divorced him. Like, on paper, and went on with her life for a little while. So they're not legally married anymore, and I'm not legally married to him either. So like I said, we're very much into our spirituality, you know. So biblically, there was never really marriage licenses. There are talks of ketubas and things like that, which are types of marriage licenses. But we really just go off of our word and our commitment to one another. Like, we hear we all know that phrase, your word is your bond. That's how we operate. This is your duties as a husband. These are my duties as a wife. Do you agree? Yeah, I agree. Do you agree? Yes. Is this what we are all agreeing to do together? and so it's an agreement between us and God rather than us in the state of Georgia or wherever we live. Because you know, when you get married, they say, I, Pastor so and so, by the state of wherever you live, now pronounce you husband and wife. That's an agreement between y'all and the state. We made an agreement between us and God. So paperwork, not as far as that, but we do have like living wills and, you know, things like that in place as safeguards, because you need those things, insurance and such.
Okay, understood. And I know you said that your co-wife, she was like, I'm out, I'm not dealing with this situation. So in that, was there like a tension or anything between you all? Because I know in your book you like highlight sisterhood, and you know, you are expressing ways or explaining how women should get along in these type of situations. So how was the dynamic between you two then and now?
It has been the same from the very beginning.
Okay.
Kindness, love, and respect. She has always treated me with the utmost kindness from the door. And even with me knowing that she had to go through her own emotional, you know, places with it, because she's in her spiritual walk, she's treated me with nothing but love and kindness from the door. Never no ill words, nothing. Like, I, there's nothing negative that I could say about how she treated me with coming into this relationship and into this family. And it has been nothing but an example to me of what I'm going to have to do if another woman comes in, you know. So it's been nothing but love, kindness, and respect from the door. Never no cattiness, no cutting of the eyes, like none of that. Because we both understand our goal, which is to live a good life happily while loving the same person who is a great leader of our family and a great father to our children. So there's no need to beef when it's, hey, we all coming in to work together. I'm coming in, the way I look at my role, she has been his wife and holding him down for the last now 20 years. So my job is to come in and to help her help him and to fill in any gaps that I can with my gifts and my talents. So it's no need for competition. We working together.
Understood. So now, you know, just discussing your um, book, you know, Playbook to Being the Other Woman. Um, why did you choose that title?
I chose the other woman because it's a versatile. The phrase goes both ways. I'm the other woman to her. She's the other woman to me. And so often we take the time to find differences between one another to separate ourselves. And it works against us because we can't have compassion and empathy for one another if we're always looking for differences. But if I'm seeing you the same way that you seeing me, now we can have compassion. Now we can have grace. Now we can show each other love and kindness and tenderness because we in the same position. We're looking at a mirror of one another. So I'm the other woman to her. She's the other woman to me. So this is our playbook of how to be the other woman in his life, as a way to bring us together on that same playing field rather than wife one, wife two. Like, that's the other woman.
Understood. And before I get more into your book, we do have some questions.
Okay.
And I don't want it to get too filled up as we go. So I'll pull these two questions. So the first question that was based off of the relationship piece that we were talking about. Veronica RN45, that's my mother.
Hey, mommy.
She said, what made his wife change her mind? Because, you know, you said that she was there, and then once he laid it out for her, she said, okay, I'm out. But now, fast forward to now, she's back. So what made her change her mind?
From her own words, it was her spiritual walk. She had to sit with God and really see, like, is this worth leaving this man that I love, that I have a child with, that we have a family with? And within her own self and her relationship with God, she realized, you know what? It's not worth fighting. What's the point of going back and forth if I'm not going nowhere? We're going to always be in each other's life. So I'm gonna stick around and understand what it is that he wants and not go against it. And for me, I see that as her loving him fully for exactly who he is and accepting him. So it was really her own spiritual journey going within herself, and just really just being logical. Like, I'm not going nowhere. I'm gonna have to see this man all the time because we got a child together. So we might as well be together because I still like him.
Exactly. In that statement that you made about her loving him fully, would that be considered loving someone without condition?
Yes.
The unconditional love piece, because people always say that they love someone. But it's like, do you really love that person once they strip themselves of everything?
Once you really see them for who they
you
are.
really love them. Because, you know, you say you love someone, but once they show you who they really are, will you still be able to love them?
That's that unconditional love, like really like seeing somebody for they good, they bad, they ugly, really knowing them in every season and saying, you know what, I still choose to love you, because it's not those butterfly, ooh type of feelings. No, it's really a choice to love somebody every single day, to say, I love you, although I may have to adjust or grow into accepting and understanding and being at peace with these certain things about you that I don't like, but I'm gonna let the good outweigh the bad, and I'm gonna figure out how to maneuver. And for me, it's always a thing of finding a way to get through rather than taking the first exit out, which is tough. Like, marriage is hard. Marriage is hard work. It's a choice to love every day. It's a learning of one another every single day. And it ain't always pretty. And that's on both sides. Because I didn't come in as a completed project. So he got to learn and grow with me, being 20 years older than me. I'm coming in, I know what I know, but I don't know everything.
Exactly.
So, he got to grow with me in my process of, where I can be in my pride, where I can be in my ego, where I can be in my emotions. He got to grow with me through those things. And I got to grow with him through whatever things that is him, or at least learn who he is, because we're still getting to know one another. We're still learning each other every single day. And love, marriage, it's a process, whether it's monogamous or polygynous. The same problems exist. It's just how many people you got to do it with.
Exactly. That's true. That's true. Another question that I saw in the comments was, and this is from Blessed Body Works. Does he want more wives?
He is open to it. He dates, he goes out, he does his thing. So if the right person comes along, then another wife will be introduced. And because he has that option to, freely move around, it's not even in no lustful, crazy manner where he just got women rotating throughout his life. Like, it's not that at all. It's like when you got chocolate cake available every single day, you ain't about to be just devouring up all day, every day. It's going to be, I'm going to get a little taste when I feel like it. So, like, he's very controlled and tempered in that space. So there is a possibility of somebody else coming in. And shoot, I've even gotten to the point where, he's talked about certain women from his past, or, just women in general. It's like, you know what? If having somebody else in your life is what you want, shit, let me help you. If I see somebody, I might point him in your direction. One, because I'm gonna have to be around her, so I want to make sure I'm a like her. And two, I want your puzzle to be filled. Like, I want you to be happy. And that's like something new that's coming to me. I heard Jadea, he's the artist. I'm probably not pronouncing the name, but he spoke about compersion, where it's not a sexual thing, but it's the gratification of seeing your partner happy, even if it's outside of you or with somebody else. So like, that's a new mindset that's coming to me. Like, I just want him to be happy. And if adding somebody else to his life and helping to split up, the work and of what it is to be a wife and to be a part of this family with somebody else is there, like, I'm for it. I just want him to be happy and settled. And, I know he's going to make sure that my needs are going to be met and the things that I want. So shit, if you think you might be a good fit for him, come drop an application.
So all in all, because the second part of that question was, are you and your co-wives open to more wives? And you basically just answered that. You guys are definitely open to that.
If that's what he wants, the right person is gonna present themselves, and you know, we rocking with him. I love him for who he is, and I just want that man to be happy and settled in his life, because he is in his legacy season now. So we need the right team in place.
Yes. So we're gonna I'm gonna pause on the questions for a moment, just so I can get back into us discussing your awesome book, Playbook to Be the Other Woman. So I know you discussed why you created the topic, and I love that concept. My next question for you is, what are you hoping that women, whether they believe in poly relationships or not, what are you hoping that women can get out of this read once they purchase?
What I hope that women get is understanding. I hope that they understand that there's more options than monogamy.
Okay.
Because if we're only taught that monogamy is the only option, it's going to be a lot of women without a man, because we outnumber men across the country. Mm-hmm. That I want that understanding to be there. And then also, even if poly is not for that specific woman, because it's not for every woman, it's not for every man, it's just not how, you know, God is going to design your relationships. Mm-hmm. But you may have a family member, a friend. We got children growing up in this era. They seeing and learning so many things that we didn't get a chance to. So your child might decide to live this lifestyle. Mm-hmm. So you don't want to go in with a judgmental mind, because you didn't educate yourself on these different possibilities. So if your son or your daughter come to you, your son say, hey, Ma, I got 2 girlfriends, or I got 2 women that I'm interested in. A woman who does not understand this lifestyle, or has not, you know, educated herself at least to this base degree, she'll say, boy, is something wrong with you. You know, you ain't supposed to want one woman. And then not even realizing you're putting an identity crisis within to him, because he's like, well, this is my desire, so is something wrong with me that I want multiple women? Mm-hmm. You messing with your own child's head, because you didn't get an education. You know, you didn't seek to learn this. Your daughter might come to you like, hey, Ma, I found this man, I love him, he treats me good, all these things, but he got another woman in his life. Girl, you dumb for doing that. But now you blocking your daughter's blessings, all because you didn't take the time to learn and understand. So I just want to help educate women so they can find their own happy, and to understand the people around them, so that we can connect better, because I really want to help the community. People use politics or advocacy, healthcare, and all types of things to help mend our community, which we need deeply. So this is my way of being able to help the community, help the Black family, you know, women connecting with each other, us having a better understanding of each other, our children, everything.
And so in regards to you talking about the children, and I know you said, like, we don't want to go in with a closed mind. We want to keep things open, because we want our kids, if they decide later on down the line that this is something that they want to do, we don't want to make them uncomfortable. And I know you are a mother, so and your child is young. So how do you explain this lifestyle, or showcase it to him, like, so that he's not confused, or so he don't, you know, okay, this is my mother, but that's also my mother too. So how does that work?
Well, I actually have 3 children. I have a 13-year-old, a 9-year-old, and a 5-year-old. Okay. But our 5-year-old is in the house with us, and it's honestly normal. He's, well, almost 5, but it's so normal to him. So in these recent, maybe even the last 2 weeks, you know, and watching TV and, you know, just talking and really understanding, okay, this is auntie, grandma, like, he's understanding relationships in the family. So now he started to question, okay, daddy has a wife. Who's daddy's wife? I'm daddy's wife. And me, Ma, is daddy's wife. So he's just now making that connection. Oh, my daddy has 2 wives. So it's kind of normal to him, because he's just growing up in his house. He just knows he's covered in love. When mommy say, hold on, wait, I'll make that peanut butter and jelly sandwich for you in a minute, like, I'm just go ask me, Ma. So all he knows is he got extra love, extra care, and extra help around him. So it's really normal. So, but for my older children, you know, it's really a conversation to have of, hey, you're young men. As you grow up, you're going to like a woman. You might like another woman. This is also also a type of relationship you can have as long as you operate in love and honesty and openness with them. And an example of that you can see is in your mother. So it's really open communication and just letting it be normalized in our household. Like growing up, like I said, my parents went through their drug phase and things like that. We spent a lot of time at my big ma's house. And in that house, it was my big ma, my aunt, two of my aunties, and my mother there. So I had 4 women rotating around us, all the children. So it's normal almost to see women working together in the household. So it's kind of that same vibe. And if we can think back to our childhoods, we saw our mothers and grandmothers and aunts all working together. It might have been on sporadic holidays and stuff, but that's just the flow of life around here. So just letting them, understand it's normal.
Good. I'm glad that you explained it, because I was like, well, I wonder how the kids feel, or what do they call everyone, So that's dope.
They just call her Lisa, or Annie. My baby boy who's in the house, he call her his Mima. That's Mima.
And I'm gonna jump back in and get some questions. So another question that came through is, how do you all split your time?
So it's only 7 days in a week, y'all. Okay. Some 7 days and 2 wives. So somebody got to get more, somebody got to get less. So we do a 4-3 split. She do 4, I do 3. And no, I don't feel no type of way like I'm neglected or nothing like that.
You handle your business in them 4 days.
Look, I be chilling, y'all. I catch up on my Netflix. I did do a mani, a pedi. I done fell asleep. Like I be chilling, because I'm very content with myself. I'm very content with myself. But we do have that split of 4 days with her, 3 days with me. He might decide on one of those nights to go in the spare bedroom and just lay out and just, be to himself. So we have those options to move around, and it's never you didn't stay the night with me on my birthday. Like, we were in Aruba during their 20-year anniversary. And it just so happened to be my night while we were there. I said, you know what? You need to be down there. He like, but it's your night. I said, but it's your anniversary. Go over there. On top of the fact, I was tired after kicking it in.
You wanted that time.
I was happy to
That's
be
all
on.
that was.
I was on
that long time.
But it's that type of love on some, have your time with her. I'm good. If they go out to a concert or something like that, and it's my night, stay with her. Y'all went out on a date, spend the rest of the night with her, and she'll do that same thing with me. So it's really just love and just open understanding.
And the next question was, is this different? Would you consider poly relationship being different than swingers? Because a lot of times we've heard about Jada and Will, and then we saw the whole big August Alsina thing. So I don't get it. It's like, I don't understand why it was such a big deal,
because Will knew about August. Will knew about August.
And we knew about Will and Jada too. So it's like, I don't know why it was such huge news, but I think because of the age difference between her and him. But would you consider that the same thing as swingers? The poly,
it's definitely different. Polygyny is what we practice, where there's one man with multiple women. Now there's polygamy, polyandry, where the women are sexually involved with one another, and the women might have mates outside the relationship, the man might have it's a whole little mix up. But we practice polygyny, and it's biblically based. Okay. So in the Bible, we see people like Jacob and David and such, they had multiple wives. So we practice polygyny. So there's no sexual interaction between us women. No, thank you. Not my vibe. And if that was something that he introduced coming in, I would have said, you know what, this ain't for me, because no, thank you. So there's definitely a big difference between polygyny, which we practice, and swinging and all that stuff. No, we are definitely spiritually based, and polygyny is biblically based. Although it's practiced all around the world, we do see examples of that in the scriptures.
Okay. And another question that came through is, what's your opinion on a woman with multiple husbands?
Me personally, I don't want multiple men inside of me.
Gotcha.
For me, that's a no. And many women, that's a no. On top of the duties and responsibility of a woman, because it's not just boyfriends and girlfriends, we're creating families. So multiple wives and husbands, you know, that's the title that we go by, husband and wives. So the duties of a wife to take care of the children, the home, the husband, and all the things that we do with one man, you would have to do that with multiple men. Sisters be tied with the one man and the one set of children that they have. So to have to do that with multiple men, you would be exhausted. There would not be enough of you to go around. That's why polygyny is such a benefit, because you have that other woman in the household to help you take care of that load for the good and the bad things. So like, no, thank you to multiple husbands. Like, no, it just does not make sense. On top of, like, a man, his responsibilities are different inside of the home. So it makes more sense for him to be able to have a wife and children here and a wife and children there, or to have everybody together, because his responsibilities are just completely different. And it's not a sexist thing. It's just knowing roles and sticking to them.
And so I know you guys are open to him dating still, but you guys said, no, we're not going to date. We're content with you. You can go out and do your thing. So what do you say to someone that might say, well, so you guys are putting his happiness before yours?
No, because everything is a choice. Everything is a choice. We're choosing to be with him and only him, because that is what makes each of us happy. So it's not putting his happiness over ours. Everybody's happiness is equal. Everybody's choices are different. So it's not putting his happiness over mine. Not at all, because I'm happy. I have the things that I want and need. Does that mean that the relationship is perfect and without flaw and troubles and no, but I'm happy. I have the things that I want and need, and she would say the same things. So everybody's happiness is important.
That's good to know. Like, you know, I just think about all the questions that people may ask, like, what about this and what about that? So my next question to you is, would people consider you all's relationship, someone put in the comments, like a Jacob, Leah, and Rachel type of situation in the Bible?
Yes. So Jacob, Leah, Rachel, Haggai, Jacob and his 4 wives created what we understand as the 12 tribes of Israel, because I do understand our history as being Hebrew Israelites in the Bible. So yes, that polygynous relationship that they had is the same type of structure that we practice. Yes, building a nation.
Understood. Well, I mean, I enjoyed talking to you. I don't know if anyone has any more questions. If you guys have any questions, feel free to ask them.
Yes.
My last thing that I'm going to ask before I have you, promote where people can find you and your new release is, what do you say to the women who say, she's better than me because I can't do it? What message would you give to that individual?
So I've had that said to me, along with a woman who decides to live this lifestyle is weak. And I would say you dead ass wrong, because it takes a certain type of strength, a certain type of confidence in yourself to stand in your greatness and be who you are, and to stand next to another woman confidently standing in hers just the same. It's it's levels to that type of self-awareness and confidence and knowledge and comfort within yourself. It's levels to this. So when you say, oh, she better than me, if that's how you want to take it, cool. But my mindset, my spiritual place, my comfort, my knowledge, maybe it is better than you. And it's not to say that you can't get there if you don't want to. Come over here and learn before you judge. Open yourself up. Don't limit yourself. So, because you can be in the same type of understanding yourself. So, yeah.
Yes. And that's my whole thing too with it, is because like we said at the beginning of the show, so many women are put into these positions. They're put into these positions by men who feel like they can't go for them. And I honestly wish that, and even after this live, because I see a lot of men have tuned in, I hope, and it's a lot of women as well, I hope that people will start being more upfront and honest. And my whole thing is, if you as a man tell a woman, hey, this is what I want to do, I like you, I love you, I like her, I love her, and this is what I want, then I feel like the woman should, if she loves you like she says she does, she should be receptive of that information. Now, if she decides to say, you know what, I don't want anything to do with it, you as a man should love or like her enough to respect her decision.
Mm-hmm.
But she should also love or like you enough to respect yours. So
Yes.
whatever your wishes are, you know, whoever you're with, they should respect that. And
Yes.
so if they can't respect it, or they just, it's not that they can't respect it, they just can't get with it, you know, that's fine. Let them go. Love them enough to let them go so they can do what they need to do. But I do feel like once someone tells you what they want and what their expectation is, you have to be open to it. And if you're not open to it, it's okay to let it go.
Yeah.
But I don't want people to keep doing this circle of, I got this woman over here, I have this woman over there, or I have this man over here, I have this man over there. Because so many people, I mean, you know, when we first got down here, what happened with Trouble? He ended up getting murdered behind a woman who was still dealing with another man, allegedly. And he lost
It
his
got
life
his life in
behind
it.
it. And people will lose their lives. People lose their minds behind relationships. I'm telling you, like it's a serious thing. So I think
Yes.
people have to learn how to be open and honest about what they want, and that way everyone can move forward.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So if you want two wives or two girlfriends, or you want two husbands, two boyfriends, whatever the case, be open and honest about it, because so many people have so many expectations, but
Yeah. Like, no,
no
you
one is
you
being
hit on
honest.
something beautiful. Like, yes, like in this, because we got men tuning in, brothers, be honest, be real with these women from the door. From the door. Like on the first date, tell her, hey, you might not be the only one in my life. Do you really want to do this? And if she says she want to do it, make her stick to it. And if she start acting up and cutting up, cut her off. Like, ladies, yes, I'm telling them to cut you off if you say you with the program and you not really with the program.
Yes.
Ladies, if you gonna choose to do it, do it. Do it in peace. Don't be asking questions all up in his ear, causing trouble, going through his phone. Like, don't even put yourself through it. Just walk away. Because like you said, people lose their lives behind it. Like, that hurts my heart to look on the news and see love triangles where a woman then killed the other woman and the man. And like, that hurt my heart to see that. That's why I said it's about helping our community. Like, it ain't even that deep for you to have to take somebody else's life to end that man or that woman's life, all because he dealt with her and you. It's not that deep. Life is too precious. Life is too precious. Like, that's that overarching message. Like, preserve life, preserve relationships, help these children, build stronger communities, and stop hurting one another about it. Like, women, we driving ourselves crazy because a man cheated. If he cheated, and that just lets you know that he has other desires, and it's time for y'all to have a conversation and for you to adjust or keep it moving. Because we got to stop taking each other's lives. We can't keep doing that.
Yes, and it's like in the women bickering, you know, or fighting each other. Like, there's no need for women to be for one another. There's no need for men to be for one another. It's all about effective communication.
Yes.
Be open, be honest, be truthful. Like I said, I don't live in the poly lifestyle, but I respect it. I respect everyone, like, you know, and what they decide to do, because I'm just big on love. I respect love. I respect people who are trying to build a strong love foundation, and I'm just proud of you, and I'm proud of you telling your truth and speaking your truth. And so, without further ado, I just want you to, you know, if you got a copy of what the book looks like, you can pull it on up there. And
now you know I do. Okay, so everybody, this is my book, Playbook to Being the Other Woman. You see the cake, it got a man with 2 wives on it. But this is my book, Playbook to Being the Other Woman. It is available on Amazon as an ebook and as a paperback. I suggest getting the paperback because it also has the journal space in the back to kind of write your notes, to highlight and things like that. But yes, it's available on Amazon along with my self-care journal, Journey to Self, that's available on Amazon. I just want to help people and, you know, just give light in this world. So please go on Amazon, cop the book. If you want an autographed copy of it, just because you want to show me some love, send me a direct message. I'll make sure you get the information. No, actually, you can go on my link and just order a autographed copy if that's something you want from me personally.
And I posted it today on my story too. So if you just go through my story, it's going to be a link that you can hit to go straight to where the book can be purchased. It's very affordable. Like you said, if you can, also grab the self-care book. If you don't want to flip around in the pages, the ebook is available.
Yes.
I'm just so excited. And I believe Ashley is asking, how often do I go live? Actually, this is my first live for Getting Candid with Cashe Ariel, which is my new IG segment where I will go live and do interviews. If you watch my page and things like that, you guys will see me all the time at premieres, doing interviews, talking with people. It's actually a spinoff to what I'm getting ready to produce for my new podcast called Candid Sentiments, and we'll be doing the same thing that way, but it will be on audio. And I'm just excited for
yes.
God.
I'm proud of you, girl. I'm proud of you. You done got here down to Atlanta and got to work, baby.
Listen,
look, and got to work. But I just want to say thank you for having me on here on your first episode. I'm happy to be a part of the crew, and I just want to just continue to see you grow. Like, I love your style of interviewing because I sit and I talk, so I like talking with people who know how to have a conversation. Okay. But thank you for having me on here, and I'm willing to pop up any other time to come talk and be in the conversation.
Talk about we'll be live on the 25th. Correct?
Okay. I'll be
live on the 25th for her show. My live segments, they're not on set days. Just know that they will typically be Monday through Friday, might be some on a Sunday, but they will either be at 7 p.m. or 8 p.m. I think I love the 8 p.m. setup.
Yeah.
It just gives everybody time to get settled. But we rocked out this hour and we did an amazing job.
Yes.
I'm so happy that I was able to do this. I thank y'all for always supporting, for tuning in, for watching. It will be posted to my page, so if you want to share it or watch later, you can.
Please do.
And I will definitely be posting the flyer for her actual segment that she's going to be doing.
Yes, we're doing a group chat. Cashe gonna be on there with me and a couple other ladies. We're gonna talk relationships, family, children, all that stuff next week. So stay connected with us, y'all.
Yes. Well, without further ado, I love y'all. Good night.
Bye.